Hey everybody, it's me Nick again with NW Percussion. So today I wanted to talk about two products from Behringer, the P16 and the P1 Powerplay. I had the P1 Powerplay for a very long time, and I remember always asking myself the question, should I be getting the P16? Is it that much better? How will it affect my life if I get it? It turns out I was kind of asking like a wrong question because they're two products that have very different applications. So I just thought I would share this video to kind of give you the lay of the land so you know which lane to stay in when you're buying these. So without further ado, let's get into the P1 Powerplay. So I like the P1 Powerplay for the following reasons. It's cheap. You don't need a Behringer board to use it. You can have it battery operated, or you can have a DC 12 volt, maybe 9 volt plug-in, which is nice. It's compact and it can mount on a music stand pretty easily. I find it's good when you are a musician that wants to have an in-ear pack, and it's the most budget way to do this is the P1 Powerplay. It's great for that. Also, it's worth noting though, there are a couple limitations. One is there's no stereo sound unless you ran two buses into it, which you would never do. You're pretty much always going to be in mono, so you can't pan guitar and piano or whatever you would want to pan. You can't do right and left in the mixes. You have to use an app of the board you're using. So I mean, I've been in bands where I use the X Air app from Behringer, but also I was in one band where we used the Mackie app, I think, and basically that app was much like the Behringer in the sense you can affect the main mix if you're not paying attention. Like let's say you're bus 4 and you're not paying attention, you're tired or you're hungover or whatever, and then you start playing with the volume and nothing's happening, you could be affecting the sound out on the stage, which is like, you do not want to be doing that. So that's a drawback of it for sure. Another drawback of the P1 Powerplay is the clip is very, very stiff. Like to clip it on your belt is actually like a very cumbersome process. This is a minor one, but there's no TRS jack or 1/4-inch plug-in. You have to have a male XLR, which isn't the biggest deal, but some boards only have 1/4-inch outs. They don't have a female XLR, so you have to just make sure you have that special cable, the 1/4-inch TRS to the male XLR. The only other thing to be aware of is the P1 Powerplay is only going to be available, or I guess hyper useful for drummers and keyboardists. I really wouldn't recommend it for guitarists or people that are mobile on stage, because you are going to have like this tail of a cord around you. So if you're a musician that isn't stationary, then I wouldn't recommend it. But again, if you're a drummer or a keyboardist, or maybe even a bassist, I don't know, I think the P1 Powerplay is a great option, and it's fairly cheap. It's around 100 bucks. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the P16. So the P16 is a product that Behringer made. It's proprietary, so you can only use it with Behringer boards of the X Air series. The P16 offers a lot more security in terms of affecting the main mix. So before I was talking with the P1 Powerplay how you could, if you're using an app, you could mess up the whole sound of the band if you're not paying attention. The P16 you really can't, because it's totally separate from everything else. It's ran by Ethernet. This is good for several reasons. If you have a musician or musicians of various skill levels and you want them to feel comfortable and them not to affect the rest of the group, they can easily do that with the P16. So that's a really huge advantage of it. Just in general, I would say the P16 is more expensive, so the only applications I could see actually working are in like houses of worship or bars or something where there's always a stable setup or a static setup. It's not really for like the traveling band, and that's because of the Ethernet cables. It's very cool that it's ran by Ethernet. That's amazing, but the problem is Ethernet cables are kind of weird to coil up, and you're not going to have all these like routing things going on when you just want to set up and play in a bar, say something like that. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you think I was right or wrong, and yeah, have a great day.